Kel, my girlfriend who I loved and was going to marry, died. Wah 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 wah.
To be quite frank, Hero, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go play basketball, and I couldn't give less of a fuck about your personal issues. And you better have my dinner ready when I come back.
Now basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
This video will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to know what happens in Omori, do not watch this video. Thank you guys for watching the video, and please subscribe. Kel is one of the key players in the plot of Omori. When he sees the for sale sign outside of Sunny's house, he makes multiple efforts to get Sunny outside before he moves. 3 days before the move, Kel decides to knock on the door until Sunny answers, and he will knock on that door until you answer. Even if he has to knock for hours on end, you will answer that door. Answering the door will set you on the true path of Omori. Ignoring it will set you on the Hikikomori route. You start off the game in the white space, where Sunny has a box of tissues and a computer. When you leave, you see Kel for the first time. He is a high-energy kid who is the younger brother of Hero and constantly fights with Aubrey. The first quest you are given is to find Aubrey's stuffed animal, which Kel somehow put inside of a watermelon. In your first combat encounter with Boss, you see Kel likes to play with balls, and he throws his balls around as a form of attack. Now in my Basil video, I made the mistake of saying the cacti in Basil's garden represent Kel because he is brain dead, but it actually represents him because he's a prick. Kel was born on November 11th, making his zodiac sign a Scorpio. The personality of a Scorpio is someone who is extremely deep and emotional, intense in all things they do, and are involved with violent acts and acts dangerous to human life that violate federal or state law, which are intended to affect the conduct of a government by mass destruction, assassination, or kidnapping. Kel's home has what looks to be an offerenda, which would mean he is likely Hispanic. This is also shown when Basil calls Kel's family illegal immigrants and stinky taco eaters. Him and Hero also have the most normal home life out of their friend group. As Sunny's parents are divorced, Aubrey has a neglectful mother who herself seems done with life after her husband left the picture, and Basil's parents are barely ever home. In the dream world, Kel has a pet rock named Hector, which is the name of his real-life dog, and the rock is based off an actual game you can play in the waking world. He also forms a bond with Pluto as they flex together, in a different room than everybody else. Alone. Ha ha! Don't tell your parents. He is very motivated, which is clear from his personality in the dream and waking world, and has a competitive relationship with his brother as he is desperate to be taller and stronger than him. His competitive and motivated nature leads him to being an athlete. His favorite sport appears to be basketball, as he always wears a basketball jersey, and he is fast, as we see when Maverick eats dust after challenging him to a race. In combat, he is also the character with the highest speed. After Kel drags your depressed ass outside, you guys are finally hanging out for the first time in 4 years, and the first thing you do is tell him to fuck off while you swat flies. When you finish, he returns, and you tell him to fuck off again while you deliver pizza. Then, when you're done, you finally hang out. Ha! No, he's once again shooed away like a dog while you organize tools. That's right, Kel. I get this money and you wait on me. That's how this new relationship works. You follow me everywhere. You fight for me. And you wait patiently while I get paid. You show up at my house every morning and don't get any rest until I'm done with you at the end of the day. Oh, and that $20 in your closet? Go ahead and forget about it. You think Hector gets treated like a dog? You just wait and see. Kel, despite his absence during the aftermath of Mari's death, is truly loyal to his friends and stands up for them whenever they are being bullied. This is shown whenever he stands up for you and Basil when Aubrey is talking shit, and helps Basil get his photo album back from Aubrey when Kel sees how much that album means to him. Kel is the more hyperactive one in the group, as him and Sunny run off to play after being bored of making flower crowns. He also takes a picture of himself with Basil's camera, then says it was on accident when it clearly wasn't. He is also an Orange Joe junkie, and drinks years-old Orange Joe out of pure desperation to feed his addiction. The scene where Kel sells his baby sister for Orange Joe was probably one of the most disturbing and sad scenes I've seen in any video game. Kinda weird how Omocat still made Kel the good guy after deciding to include that. Over the course of the game, Kel develops a bitter relationship with Aubrey over his absence after Mari's death, which, by the way, was not a murder. Sunny is actually a peacekeeper. See, before Mari started yelling, there was peace. But she ruined it by yelling at Sunny, and when Sunny pushed her down the stairs, peace returned. Sunny was keeping the peace. It was a peacekeeping operation. While his friends grieved, Kel felt that he would only make things worse and went into his own world of sports and made different friends to give everybody else time to mourn. This ends up having the opposite effect, however, as Aubrey felt abandoned by him. When they meet up again, Aubrey is basically done with the idea of being friends with Kel, and they end up getting into several violent altercations. Normally, Hero regulates these disputes, but since he is absent at this point of the game, their feud just continues to escalate. Kel's intelligence is also in question throughout the game, as he just never questions the fact that you stole money from him, and he thinks it's a good idea to fight someone with a spiked bat by throwing a basketball at them. If Sunny didn't have a knife and pepper spray on him at these times, then Kel would probably have been murdered by Aubrey during these fights. Also, when Aubrey pushes Basil into the lake, despite Kel being an athlete, he just stands there while Sunny and Basil drown until Hero shows up and saves them. Like, if Hero didn't show up, he would have just been like, "Looks like more of my friends are dead. Time to go play with my pet rock." Oh, he also doesn't know what 9 plus 10 is at the age of 16. Obviously, it's 91. Idiot. Hey guys, this is future me here editing this video, so I cannot show you this clip because I cannot find it anymore. What it was a cutscene set in Faraway Town where Aubrey asks Kel a math question and Kel is not able to answer it. I swear I watched this video before and I just cannot find it anymore. Despite the jokes, Kel does actually care about the lives of his friends, as he is shown to be devastated if you let Basil kill himself. By the way, something I noticed in this part, Basil kills himself in the middle of the night, but you don't actually hear an ambulance until you go home, sleep, then wake up in the morning and start leaving with your mother. Did they wait that long to call 911, or is response time in Faraway Town 8 hours plus? No wonder Basil's grandma died. Kel also helps Hero come to terms with losing Mari as he tries to talk to Hero to cheer him up, which ends up causing Hero to go off on him, which hurts Kel and makes him cry. Their parents come in and hug Hero while ignoring a crying Kel, but Hero realizes how badly he hurt Kel and ends up hugging him and apologizing. This shows that his aloofness is kind of the key to everything, as he is totally incapable of reading social situations and speaks too directly at times, yet this gets people to confront their despair like it did with Sunny, Hero, and Aubrey. I do think there is an interesting discussion around his relationship with Mari, as it seems like he didn't care that much about her dying. At least that's how it appears on the surface. First of all, there just aren't that many interactions between him and Mari throughout the game. Aubrey states that after Mari died, Kel abandoned her, and he claims he did this because he felt that he would make things worse, not necessarily because he was hurt by her passing. Hero took her death much harder than Kel, but Hero had a romantic relationship with Mari, which would make sense why it had a worse impact on him. But what effect did her death have on Kel at all? When you visit Mari's grave with him, he speaks more about what her death did to his brother than any impact it had on him personally. And maybe his brother noticed this too, and that's what he was yelling at him over. I mean, what else would he have said that was so hurtful to Kel? That he would never be as tall as him or beat him in arm wrestling? It was probably something related to him not caring about Mari's death. Now, it is possible that he was just suppressing his emotions, and he did say he thought about Mari every day, but there just isn't evidence of a deep emotional impact. I don't know, I don't have an answer here, it's just something I noticed. At the end of the game, Hero returns and mends the relationship between Kel, Sunny, and Aubrey, and Kel vows to never abandon his friends again, as all of them promise to be there for each other. Finally, 4 years later, the once good friends who had been torn apart by tragedy are back together. They spend the night at Basil's house where Sunny and Basil beat each other up, or mostly just Basil beating up Sunny, and while Sunny is unconscious, he confronts Omori. In the fight, Sunny is encouraged in a cherish move by Kel saying, "Friends. Friends are supposed to be there for each other." When I first played the game, I saw Kel as irrelevant, but now I see him as pretty critical. Of course because he got Sunny to come outside, but because he handled Mari's death in a way that didn't make him riddled with guilt or resentful of anybody else. Pretty much everybody else becomes a shut-in, but Kel is the one who drags everybody out and brings them together. I just love the guy. He isn't bitter, nor does he blame himself or anybody else for Mari's death, which allowed him to reconnect with his friends without any hesitation. And despite his violent confrontations with Aubrey, he's able to just drop it and forgive her pretty fast, and even tolerates Aubrey committing battery against him afterwards. Aubrey actually got really violent since she was a kid. I mean, she's running a gang, going around with a deadly weapon and attacking people with it. In fact, this game makes it seem like these are kids who deal with their problems with the power of friendship, but they solve all their problems with the power of horrific violence. First, Sunny kills his sister by pushing her down the stairs, then Basil's like, "Sunny, how could you?" not make this look like a suicide, then strings up her dead body, then Aubrey gets really sad about it and sticks a bunch of nails in a baseball bat, then attacks Sunny and Kel with it, but not before Sunny stabs her with a steak knife, then you pepper spray all her friends, and she responds by drowning Basil, then Sunny jumps in and now he's drowning. Sunny copes with his sister's death by fantasizing about killing animals. Basil stabs Sunny in the eye with fucking garden shears. God knows if he just stabbed his eye or straight popped it out. And when Basil and Sunny aren't stabbing other people, they're stabbing themselves. Aubrey's just punching Kel, then all of them massacre the recycultists who just want people to be nice to the environment. You remember Mari's request. Kill them, Sunny. Kill them all. These kids are all violent. Lock them all up. Since we are now talking about the friends that Sunny confesses to in the end, I can actually speculate on what their reactions would be. Personally, I think Kel would be the one who takes it the best, mainly because when Mari died, he didn't give a shit at all. Or maybe he did and spent hours crying in the closet in secret. But I would bet Sunny revealing how his sister actually died would mean very little to Kel. I could see Hero not taking it well and Kel's loyalty being tested as a result of that, because maybe Hero might not want him around Sunny anymore, while Kel still wants to maintain that relationship. I feel like the way Kel's relationship with Sunny would turn out afterwards is dependent on how Hero takes it. Either he takes it well and Kel remains friends with Sunny, or Hero doesn't take it well and Kel breaks off the relationship out of respect for his brother, or even damages the relationship with his brother by staying friends with Sunny when Hero asks him not to. Or maybe he reacts by playing fucking basketball. They're playing basketball. We love that basketball. They're playing basketball. We love that basketball. Now basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. My favorite play is the alley-oop.